Welcome into Football Guys Sunday Morning Live. I am Joey, joined as always by Colton. But Colton, we have somebody new with us today.
Who is that guy?
I'll tell you, he's a handsome guy. Joining us today is Football Guys staff writer Jeff Blaylock. Jeff, give us a 1-minute rundown of who you are, what you're about. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that compliment, guys. I've been told so many times I have a face for radio. I can't even fathom it. So thank you. So yeah, I'm Jeff Blaylock. I am one of the football guys. I do mostly dynasty content and dynasty rankings, but do get into some of the weekly things, such as your start sit questions. I haunt our Discord channels on some weekends answering questions. And then I also have my own podcast, Dynasty Compass. If you are into dynasty strategy, you can check that out as well. And it's always a pleasure to hang out with my football guys. And thank you for having me on the show today. It's going to be fun.
And who do you do that show with, Jeff?
Dynasty Compass, it's just me right now. But season 2 is coming, and season 2 is going to have guest action going on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking you did that with Josh.
No,
and I do. So crap on Josh Falsing.
No, what we do with Josh what we do with Josh is the Dynasty Waivers of the Future article for football guys. So we look into our crystal footballs out about 3 to 5 weeks, try to identify the guys who are going to be waiver wire darlings in deeper leagues in a few weeks so you can pick them up now for nothing.
I love it. And I was just trying to crap on Josh. I was trying to find a segue. Colton will tell you I'm the greatest person at segues and transitions. Josh, I hope you go down today because my normal co-host decided not to show up today, Adam Hutchison, could be playing me in the finals, and that would be the most poetic ending to my season just to end his year, and that's what we want. Good content.
He's in the comments right now, Joey. He's chirping you a little bit.
Oh, he's got time to comment, but not time to come on the show. Got it.
So do we know what Adam's injury is as to why he's out this week? What did he do to himself?
He's got a good excuse. I'm not allowed to talk about it on camera, but when he comes back, his nose is going to look a little different. I just made that up. But we do need to get into the injuries. We're 2 minutes into the show. Jeff, thank you so much for being here. Colton, you're going to be with us the whole hour today, correct?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Okay. I'm glad I asked you on camera and not behind camera because I can't remember if I did or not, but no, I did.
Am I supposed to say today? No live? Like, you kind of forced my hand, dude. I don't have a choice now.
All right. Out today, Rashee Rice will not be playing for the Chiefs this week. Also out today, Alvin Kamara. Going back to Rashee Rice, Jeff Blaylock. If you need to start another pass catcher for the Chiefs, I know Gardner Minshew's at quarterback. Who do you feel maybe most confident with today?
I'd probably go with Xavier Worthy out of the Chiefs pass catchers today. I believe that Tyquan Thornton is also going to be out, which takes away some bit of the deep threat game that Kansas City has. So to me, it's Worthy. But also, if you've got Kelsey, fire him up. I think there's going to be a concerted effort to get him the ball a lot here in these last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're going to get him to 1,000 yards, I think. And, they want to send him off nice. I think everyone kind of sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah,
that it might be the last run for Kelsey, and good for him. He's got some other stuff going on in his life. I'm not sure what, but I heard he might be engaged. So
yeah,
Alvin Kamara out today as well. Colton, Audric Estime, is this the week? Are you trusting him?
Man, there's some similarities with this situation and the Cardinal situation where it's just like, who's the last man standing? And I guess it's Audric Estime right now. We did see last week he was involved as a receiver and got some work on the ground. And that's kind of why I think he should be the preference over Evan Hull this week. There is some appeal there. They're facing the Jets defense. I feel like there's going to be some volume just based on some of the numbers we saw last week. So again, it feels wild in week 16 of 2025 to be firing up Audric Estime, but I am in a few places. So I'm with you. I think there is some appeal there.
Love it. I'm in in a league that's like a quarter point a carry, and I'm putting Estime in today.
He is in my Scott Fishbowl lineup for the semifinals. So there you go.
Is that still going on?
Yeah.
My team was eliminated week 6.
There you go. That's early. I'm in the semis this week, and I'm hoping Audric Estime can put me on his back and carry me over the finish line, but we'll see.
For your sake, I hope so too. Tip: if you're ever hosting a Scott Fishbowl draft, don't draft at it. Just host and then draft online because your team will be crap. Dylan Sampson and David Njoku out for the Browns today. Harold Fannin, I would feel pretty comfortable with him starting today. Bashal Tutin out today. Jeff, Travis Etienne, does it look like the show for him, or are you a little afraid of Denver?
No, well, I am a little afraid of Denver, but I'm not afraid of volume. So wheels up to me for ETN.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jeff's not afraid of volume. We're going to wear a hat today. His hair, normally, it's a big afro.
Yeah.
Ricky
really
Pearsall out today for the 49ers, or this week for the 49ers as well. Expected to play today. Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back today. We'll see what happens. A little bit more exciting. And Jeff, I want to ask you about Drake London. Are you trusting Drake London back this week?
I am typically averse to starting a guy who has missed several weeks. I usually like to give them another week to see how they're going to do and get them ramped up before I put them in. But Drake London is a fantasy wide receiver 1. I think we have him ranked in the top 10, even knowing that about him. So to me, he is a must start. And yes, I'm putting him in everywhere I've got him.
Love it. Nick Chubb, Christian Kirk expected to play today for the Houston Texans. Woody Marks is questionable. And we'll get to the questionable page in a second here. But Colton, if Chubb and Marks are both on the field, are you expecting like a 50-50 split, or are we expecting Marks to be limited? What are you thinking?
I think it all depends on the health, right? I think Vegas, some of the metrics with Vegas are pretty crazy. They stack the box on over 50% of opposing run plays. It's the highest rate in the league. So they're not very good at pass defense, right? But they have decided that if you are going to beat us, it is not going to be by running the ball. I think right now, Woody Marks, with the injury sort of ambiguity, right? Like, how healthy is he? I think both of these guys make me a little nervous. But especially because both seem like they're going to play, it seems like Woody Marks will be in there as well. So I feel like with Nick Chubb in the mix, that kind of brings Woody Marks down a little bit for me.
Okay. I agree with you on that. T. Higgins should be out there today for the Bengals. Definitely want to keep an eye on that one, though. Coming off 2 concussions, he has to talk to the independent doctor from last I heard, but he is expected to play. Hopefully we see him out there today. Doesn't like the Bengals are stopping. They want to play spoiler, so let them spoil away. Questionable today, Quentin Johnston. Now, Jeff, I want to go scenario with you here. Quentin Johnston doesn't start today. I'll say he's out. This matchup with the Cowboys is dynamite.
Yep.
Could this be like a nice final swan song for Keenan Allen, or is there somebody maybe you like a little bit more?
I like Keenan Allen as a high ceiling play, particularly if you're projected to be trailing or losing your matchups this weekend. I don't like him for floor. I wouldn't put him in if I were projected to be ahead, because he could give you absolutely nothing. But this does feel like the kind of game that Herbert and Allen, they get on the same page. You see several, spectacular toe tap catches on the sidelines, down 25 yards in the field, touchdown here or there. So I think there's some really good possibility here. I mean, this is a boffo matchup for whatever pass catchers the Chargers have. Keenan Allen is one of them. And I agree, Joey, with that idea of a swan song. If this is going to be the end of his career, they're going to make it as memorable as they can.
Yeah. And I'm not retiring Keenan Allen today or anything.
Right.
I'm just saying,
me neither.
There's a week that, let's put him up a big number for him to kind of put a little exclamation point on it. Like, in my opinion, a Hall of Fame career. Like, let's let him go out this way.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's the injuries. And guys, let's start getting to these questions. We're not here alone. Before we do that, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We love all of you guys being here with us. Where are we at? Week 16. So the previous 15 weeks. Thank you so much for being here in the chat, leaving us questions. We want to help you win those championships. We'll be here next week for championship week. Special guest next week as well. Get excited. I'm not going to say who it is. Maybe I will at the end of the show. A little tease. At the end of the show, I'll let everyone know who it is. Cool. All right, let's start getting into these questions. Darren, first question in this morning. Good morning and happy holidays to you and your families as well to you, Darren. I am currently projected as a decent favorite in my match, 170 to 148 for whatever that's worth. Should they start Javonte, Travion Henderson, or George Pickens? Jeff, you're the guest. We'll go to you first.
I like Javonte Williams in this situation for Dallas. I mean, the Chargers have a very tough pass defense. If Dallas is going to win this game, they're going to have to do it on the ground. I don't get any sense that Dallas is giving up because they've been eliminated from the playoffs. They're all still playing for jobs and for pride and in front of Jerry. So I do expect they will be hitting to run the ball. I like how Dallas has been able to do that this year. So to me, Javonte is a nice, safe floor that I would use in this situation.
Love that, Jeff. Colton, would you like to quickly comment on the Cowboys missing the playoffs as an Eagles fan?
I'll just remind everybody. All right.
Teed
It
you up
feels
there
good
for
to
that
have
one.
finally slayed the
my
NFC
little
East curse.
my little Cowboys helmet right here. So we'll just.
There you go.
I totally spaced on that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I figured
I
that was
thought you knew.
intentional.
I thought you knew.
No. I'm so sorry. That's not like me.
I have been sweating the NFC East curse for the last month. So to finally have that, there hasn't been a repeat winner in 20 years.
Yep.
And when the Eagles started to fall off and the Cowboys started to surge a little bit, I started to sweat, but feels good to finally have that out of the way.
Yeah, congrats to the Eagles, and good luck in your home matchup against a superior NFC West team.
There you go. Probably. All right. Mark in here. Happy holidays to the best on the net. Oh, thank you so much. Seriously, you guys are almost spot on. Well, we try. Down 87 already on 3 players. Yeah. To anyone that's gone up against Puka Nacua, let me just throw this out there. Last week, Jeff Bell dropped it in for us. Listen, if you're playing against Kyle Pitts, just start chipping away. You can overcome it. Same thing with Puka. It's in my home league, it was a 53-point game. That's crazy in PPR. Really high scoring game. You can chip away at it and you can come back. Odds are it's going to be a tough climb, but you can climb out of it. So chins up today. Need a shootout for the moon. So Burrows, Cousin, Young, or McCarthy. Colton, pick a quarterback.
Real quick, just to piggyback off of what Joey just said about Puka, you certainly can, unless you faced the Puka Stafford stack like I did. Okay, in which case it's been a good run. Glad to have been there. But anyway, down 87 on 3 players, need to shoot for the moon. At this point, I still think Joe Burrow is my highest rated out of that group. I think you got to roll with Joe Burrow there. He's got the highest floor and the highest ceiling in my mind. So yeah, go with Joe Burrow out of that group.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. And especially if you got Higgins back. All right. Yep. Mark's got another one for us. Just going to you, Jeff. Need 1 running back in a PPR league. ETN versus a tough Denver run defense. Tyrone Tracy. Is that Hart? Yeah, supposed to be Harvey, Mitchell, Carter, Estimate, or Marks. So need 1 running back there. Who do you like, Jeff, out of that group?
Wow, that's a lot of folks all kind of right together. I am going to I'm going to go with Tyrone Tracy out of this group. Minnesota is really tough against the pass. They're really hard on wide receivers. So the Giants going to need to move the ball on the ground. They've got a dynamic quarterback who can help with that rushing game. And Tyrone Tracy catches balls out of the backfield. So I'm going to like him. I would typically take ETN, but as Mark notes there, Denver's a tough run defense. Minnesota is not. So let me take Tracy out of that.
Beautiful. And then 1 wide receiver, Colton, will go to you. Sutton, Coker, or Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah. I think I have Cortland Sutton is a top 20 play for me still. That Jacksonville defense has been solid against the pass, but this Denver pass offense is figuring something out. It's a little inconsistent after Cortland Sutton, right? We've all we've fallen victim to the Troy Franklin hype, and then the Pat Bryant is here now and all of that stuff. So I still think Cortland Sutton is somebody who can be reliable. We've seen that over the last couple of weeks. He's kind of in that tier for me. So give me Cortland Sutton out of that group.
I've had a hard time with the Denver pass game because I've wanted Troy Franklin to happen because Pat Bryant stood me up on an interview. That's a story for another day. 1 flex from remaining running back and wide receiver.
That was from the previous.
From the previous.
Oh, so we need a flex. Yeah. I'll give you the flex. I like there. I'll go ETN. I'll take the volume with ETN against tough defense. I don't mind Michael Carter today, but I've been fooled on Michael Carter before. I'll just take the volume with what I know with ETN. And the defense, Bills, Vikings, Saints. I like that Bills matchup today. I don't expect Shedeur Sanders to be too dynamite against the Bills today. Somebody named Adam. Why is Joey avoiding me in the playoffs? I'm expected to win my matchup. I don't know what you're talking about. Hopefully I'll see you next week. You're the one that's losing your matchup. Okay. Let's right the ship. Okay. Thanks, Adam. Standard PPR league. Brissett or Burrow. Whose turn is it? Colton, we'll go to you.
Man, this is the one where Jacoby Brissett's been like the coolest story at quarterback this season. Where last week I was fading him entirely, right? Like Houston's defense, the last 4 quarterbacks they had played before Jacoby Brissett averaged 10 points, and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen were in that group. And then Jacoby Brissett was a top 12 quarterback against them. Jacoby Brissett, I know it's painful to fire up a quarterback, whoever it is, against your favorite team, right? But you can't ignore Jacoby Brissett right now. I have him ranked as my QB4 this week. Burrow is my QB8. So fire up Jacoby Brissett, man. I'm not fading him anymore, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing in terms of your confidence, but I love Jacoby Brissett this week.
Sounds good. And David, I love your avatar. It's just very pleasing to my eyes. I don't know what it means.
It's Capricornus.
Is that what it is? It's beautiful. I don't know. I like the colors. It's kind of like, looks like a Los Angeles Rams. I don't know. Like it's pretty. Thank you for bringing a pretty avatar to me today. Mike in here with a just straight up M. Good morning. I have a 30-point lead and a flex question. Do I play Woody with an injury or pick up Estime or Evan Hall? Jeff, what's your advice there? Would you rather roll with Woody Marks or Estime or Evan Hall?
I'm concerned with Woody Marks. I'm concerned with the split they may have with Chubb. I'm concerned that Chubb may come back gangbusters and Marks sits for a while. So I'm going to go with someone Colton mentioned earlier, which is Audric Estime, and the volume. I think he gets there. He's going to be, I believe, the lead out of the backfield for carries as well as for receptions. I think Hull is your touchdown guy. So if you need a touchdown upside, it'd be Hull. But if you're ahead, you need floor. And to me, that would be Estime. He's got the safest floor of those 3.
All right. Mike says he loves listening to our show, but not watching it apparently. So thanks for nothing, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate you being here, Mike. All right. Epidemic 619. Hola, mi amigos. And here's another great playoff weekend. Let's hope for it. Standard League, flex, Woody Marks, T. Higgins, or Michael Carter. Colton, I'm going to give you that one.
Yeah, I'm going to rank these for you just to kind of give you
rank them.
An overview of my confidence. I'm going T. Higgins first out of that entire group. Michael Carter second, Woody Marks third. If T. Higgins is active, you have to start T. Higgins. I do like the Michael Carter volume for he saw volume as a receiver and a runner, and he's also been heavily involved as a receiver over the last like 4 or 5 weeks, even before he was the last man standing. So that would be my ranking. But if Higgins is active, you got to go Higgins.
Yeah, and the good news is you're going to have the news on Higgins before you would need to make the decision on Carter or Marks. So you're in a good spot. Thank you for being here all season. We're only here to give you wisdom because you're tuning in. So appreciate you being here. Jay Blaker, good morning. Pick one at tight end and full PPR. Juwan Johnson, Darren Waller, or Tyler Warren. Jeff Blaylock.
Give me Darren Waller. Cincinnati is by far the worst team in the league defensively against tight ends. The recent performances by Andrews and likely notwithstanding, the Bengals are the team that you target, particularly with streaming tight ends. I am not as worried about Quinn Ewers being the starter. I mean, honestly, how much worse could he be than Tua Tagovailoa has been the back half of this season? So give me Waller.
I agree with you. And this is speaking as someone that we talked about Puka Nacua overcoming, that big number he put up. You can overcome goose eggs. I had a goose egg from Likely in a couple leagues last week, and I still made it through. So it works both ways.
Yep.
Blazing Saddles. That's a good movie.
Hey.
At PPR. Do you know Blazing Saddles, Jeff?
No, it's just an awesome handle. Love it.
I was going to throw the question to you if you knew him, but you don't. So I'm going to give it to Colton. Half PPR. Should I start Warren, Carter, or Estime? So Jaylen Warren, we've not really talked about him yet. Colton, where are you at on that one?
Yeah, over the last couple of weeks, I've kind of talked about this situation as one where it feels like Arthur Smith trusts both of those guys to do what he needs his running back to do, right? But we have sort of seen a bit of a shift where Kenneth Gainwell is now leading the backfield in terms of snap share. It's not a huge disparity, right? It's still in that 55 to 45 range, but it favors Kenneth Gainwell now. And I think it's a really tough matchup with Detroit, but some of the pass work that we've seen from Gainwell and the fact that he also credited Aaron Rodgers for kind of being the person who helped him unlock that, I think is notable, right? So with this, I think I would lean Gainwell. I don't think that you need to discredit Jaylen Warren a ton. I have him as my RB18, but there is some massive upside here with Gainwell because of the receiving volume that he's seen. So,
all right. And then if you're going between Wilson and McMillan, Jeff, Wilson or McMillan?
Assuming that it's Tetaroa, McMillan, him, Tampa Bay is a bottom 5 pass defense. If it is Jalen McMillan, then Wilson.
Yeah, you handled that delicately. We don't like to besmirch the Bucks too much on the show, but we do often. So, yeah,
facts. That was just a fact, Joey. Sorry, it's
no, it is. It is. I've said it many a times. Like you can pass on the Bucks,
yeah,
and many teams do. All right, yeah, the Michael Wilson train. I hope it's not finally pulled into the station. I hope it's it's going to keep going there. I don't know. I don't know trains, guys.
I really don't. Report that they are going to. I don't know how much truth you put into this. But they're going to ease Marvin Harrison back in. And I did also see that Michael Wilson was leading Cardinals pass catchers through drills this week as well. So just
I'd love to see it.
Do with that what you will, but it's notable.
You know how we go through little periods in the offseason where we're really in on a guy? I got very lucky that I was really in on drafting Michael Wilson when I was doing the most best ball drafts. I only did I did 4 best ball drafts this year on 2 different platforms. And Michael Wilson's on all 4 of those teams. So
there you go.
Personally, I'm hoping we get a couple more weeks out of it. All right. Jeff, need one to fill one spot between 4 players. Genty, Pollard, Estime, or Jordan.
Yikes.
Can we take Jordan out of this question now that we know Woody Marks and Chubb are both going to be out there this week?
Take Jordan out. None of these. Janty and Pollard has a terrible matchup. Janty doesn't have a great matchup. I'm worried about the overall volume for the Vegas offense. So I can't believe I'm going to say in a championship semifinal weekend that I would trust Audric Estime over those 2 guys. But that's where I am at the moment. I like his volume. I like his passing down work. And his efficiency over those other 2 guys. But be at peace with whatever decision you make there, Kevin, because those 3 are all kind of right together in terms of what I think they're capable of.
All right, we're going to rapid fire through a few of these questions before we get starts of the week, and we bring on another co-host. Real quick, Baker Mayfield or Trevor Lawrence, Colton?
Trevor Lawrence for me.
Love it. All right, good morning. Full PPR, 1 running back and 1 flex, pick 2. So, Jeff, here we go. Marion Hampton, Woody Marks, Kenneth Gainwell, Michael Carter, Xavier Worthy, or Jaden Higgins. So pick the running back first and then give a flex, please. And thank you.
I'm going to go with Gainwell here as either the running back or the flex. We can get to that in a second, but I go with Gainwell. I like what Colton said about him earlier in his role in Pittsburgh's offense. And then I would go with Hampton if I'm looking for floor and go with Worthy if I were going for ceiling. And I'm not sure whether you're trailing or ahead, Scott. So that would be how I'd make that decision for the other guy.
All right. Mark wants to know Tedero McMillan, Michael Wilson, or George Pickens, Colton?
It's close between Michael Wilson and Pickens for me. I think Pickens gets a slight edge there.
All right. Stresselman, Michael Carter, Estime, or Algier? Jeff, pick one.
I'm going to stay on my Estime train here, but I do like Michael Carter's situation in Arizona, so that's a lot closer than a couple of others that we've talked about with Estime.
All right. And who do you trust, Colton, between Breece Hall, Genty, and Tyrone Tracy? I need 2 of them.
Yeah, I think you got to go. I think you got to go Tyrone Tracy and Breece Hall here.
Okay. Good morning, Andrea. Rico or Juwan Jennings? Jeff, that's a spicy question.
Ooh, that is a spicy question. I'm gonna go with Jennings on that because Indianapolis is really weak against wide receivers, and that also gives you an ability to have a Monday night player so that you go into your final day with either a fighting chance or you've got it locked up.
All right. The Vite Queen, Aaron Jones or Godwin. I want to take this one. Godwin. Baker Mayfield loves playing against the Panthers. 4-0 since he started. He's going to go crazy today, hopefully. Maybe I'm just willing that to happen. All right. William Taylor, Brissett or Dak, Jeff?
Give me Brissett in this one.
All righty. Now, as we transition out of the starts. We're going to get into starts of the week. Starts or sets, we'll get starts of the week. Colton, talk to us about Jared Goff.
Yeah, like I said, with these starts and sits, or starts of the week, I should say, I always try to go with somebody who's maybe on the fringe, right? And Jared Goff is kind of in that QB1 conversation, but not necessarily a surefire guy. And that's kind of par for the course with Jared Goff, perennially underrated, and it doesn't seem like that's going to change. He's my QB, or he was my QB 12 going into all of the weekend games, right? The Thursday night and Saturday night games. But when we're looking at this Lions offense, since Dan Campbell took over play calling ahead of week 9, Goff is the QB8 in points per game, and he's averaged 19.7 over that span. That's more than Drake May, Brock Purdy, and Bo Nix on a per game basis over that stretch. The Lions might be 3-4, but Goff has averaged 291.6 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just 0.3 interceptions per game. All right. He's also at home over the team's 3 consecutive home games from week 12 to 14. 71.6% completion percentage, 281 yards, 1.7 touchdowns, and again, 0.3 interceptions. Nice. Steelers, no TJ Watt. They're going to struggle to generate pressure. They're 25th in pressure rate this season, despite blitzing at the 9th highest rate in the league. That's not good. Typically, you want to generate a little more pressure if you're blitzing that much. Time to pressure tied for the 3rd fastest, but without TJ Watt last week, their time to pressure jumped to 3.22%. Goff gets rid of the ball extremely quick. He 2.7 seconds to throw, tied for the 6th fastest time in the league. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is perfect for what Detroit likes to do in terms of the quick passing game, to try to exploit this Steelers team that is predicated on trying to rush the passer and hasn't really done that very well. So I love what that does for Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, and Amon-Ra St. Brown after the catch. And 56% of Jared Goff's passing yardage total has come after the catch. So it's the 8th highest percentage among quarterbacks with at least 250 snaps played. I love Jared Goff this week. I'm playing him over CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield, sorry, Joey, and Dak Prescott.
Okay. Colton, I'm going to disagree with you on one thing. Okay. And I think this is really important.
All right.
You said that Jared Goff is your QB 12, and at home he's really good. And I disagree with you at QB 12 because he's my QB 9. I completely agree with you.
It.
Great start of the week.
I love it.
Thought I was really gonna challenge you. No, it's not my style.
Yeah, we're heading for a showdown here. Let's go.
No. Jeff Blaylock, you have somebody I actually have ranked higher than Jared Goff in my rankings. Talk to us about Justin Herbert in an incredible matchup.
Yeah, sometimes we overthink things and we try to convince ourselves of problems that may not really be a problem. I mean, Herbert has been limited with a broken non-throwing hand. He's just been the QB2 over the last couple of weeks. But look, guys, Dallas allows the most passing yards, the most passing touchdowns, the highest quarterback passer rating, the 2nd highest completion rating over expected, and the most end zone targets of any team in the league. So, and you've got a secondary for Dallas that doesn't have Deron Bland. Trevon Diggs is going to be there, but they're going to get picked apart. I think the challenge for Herbert will be Dallas's pressure. They pressure 43% of the time on the season. This is nothing new for Herbert because the Chargers' offensive line is Swiss cheese and allows pressure at the same 43% rate. And despite all the pressure that Dallas generates, and as frequently as they do it, they still allow quarterbacks the 2nd most time to throw of any team in the league. And Herbert, when under pressure, has the most touchdown passes, the 4th most yards. And oh, by the way, because Herbert's been picking up yardage with his legs lately, Dallas allows the 3rd most rushing yards to quarterbacks. Don't overthink this. Start Herbert.
Love it, Jeff. Absolutely love it. I have Herbert as my QB6. So, yeah, you guys picked 2 great ones. Jeff, everybody go follow Jeff Blaylock at Jeff Blaylock on the old X Twitter machine. Thank you so much for being here with us. I always give our hosts an opportunity to give some words to the people. I didn't prep you for this, but give some words to the people.
So my words to the people, I mentioned it a little earlier in passing. I'll say it more directly here. There are a lot of tough choices that we make as dynasty and fantasy managers, especially here at the end of the season when so much is riding on it. There's so many close calls, so many tough decisions. Make the best decision that you can with the best reasons that you have based on the best information that you have. Lock it in and then be at peace with that choice no matter what happens, because you can't predict the things you can't predict, but you know what you know going in. So make the best decision you can and be okay with however that turns out.
Beautiful. Jeff Blaylock, thank you so much for being here with us today. Everybody go
Thanks,
follow
guys.
Jeff. He's in the Discord. Go hang out with him. Yeah. Thanks for being here, buddy. I'm gonna kick you off now.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Later, Jeff.
As Jeff was talking to us about making good decisions, one of the best decisions I ever made was saying hello to Jeff Bell like 5 years ago when I had a chance to be friends with him. Jeff, how are we doing today, buddy?
Joey, I'm doing well. It's good to see you. It's Sunday morning. We've got a big leverage Sunday morning here, the semifinals of the playoffs. I don't know, Joey, if you caught it last night. I really enjoyed Saturday Night Live last night. I think Bowen Yang's send-off was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Great job by Ariana Grande. So coming in feeling good off that. So.
Love it. Yeah, I watched. I've never missed an episode of SNL, so I saw a lot of the skits. I did think it was mean of Che to. I thought that was Colin. They're not going to do the joke swap. Come on, you got. So hopefully Colin's surprising. But Jeff, I want you to talk to me today about your start of the week. I'm curious. It's Bryce Young, and he's going against another team today. As long as he doesn't win, I'm fine with your start of the week. But tell us why you love Bryce Young.
So if I were to ask you over the last 5 weeks, where do you think Bryce Young ranks in quarterback scoring over the last 5 weeks? Maybe I'm going to ask Colton because Joey already knows the answer to this.
Yeah,
Colton, where do you think
Bryce
Young ranks in quarterback scoring over the last 5 weeks?
I'm going to say he is QB, let's say 11.
He's QB 5 over the last 5 weeks. And so we know that there's been this long stretch where he was not over 200 yards passing. He's really started to click in some big leverage spots. We saw him in a big game against the Rams a couple of weeks ago, 3 touchdowns in that game. We saw him have another big game against the Falcons, who everybody has a big game against the Falcons right now. He's turned the corner a little bit on the quarterback run game. He was not running during that stretch of sub 200 yard games. Now he's got up to 29 yards per game over his last 3 games. So he's starting to run the ball more. He's coming up in big moments, and Joey knows there's a very big moment today. He's facing. I heard you guys talking about a target against the Bucs passing attack or the Bucs pass defense, because it's a lack of pass defense. They are allowing the 3rd most points to the quarterback position. You've got Bryce Young coming in running off a heater here. You've got a great opportunity if you're looking for a streamer, if you're looking for in your matchups, maybe you just lost Patrick Mahomes. Maybe Bryce Young is sitting out there and you need somebody to plug into that matchup. Bryce Young this week, start of the week.
Yeah, I hope that he has an incredible week and the Panthers come up 1 point short. That's my hope. Got to win it today, Bucks. All right, Jeff, I'm super excited to see you as always, buddy. As I get to the front of the thing, do you want to go through any revenge games? Take us down Narrative Street.
We got all kinds of stuff going on here. We have revenge games. We have some contract incentives. We have some historical chases. We know, obviously, we just talked about the Bucs and the Panthers. Baker Mayfield was a former Carolina Panther. They helped resurrect his career potentially. Oh, maybe, I don't know if they helped. The Rams definitely did. Speaking of the Rams, we had Cooper Kupp and Colby Parkinson going back and forth in that Seahawks game. Parkinson, former Seahawk, and then we had Kupp, obviously Los Angeles Ram. Then we have Mike Gesicki going up against Miami. Mike Gesicki started his career in Miami. Okay. We've got Evan Ingram going up against Jacksonville, and Evan Ingram was released by the Jaguars before this year. He didn't have, I think there's a little bit of fire in that one. He doesn't really have the best things to say about being released by Jacksonville. You've got Marcus Mariota, who played yesterday, going against an Eagles team he played against previously. Jahan Dotson, who played for the Washington Commanders and then became an Eagle. Samaje Perine was a Dolphin. You got Tim Patrick in that same game as Evan Ingram going up against the Denver Broncos. And then you got some backup quarterbacks like we always do. Trey Lance against Dallas, Teddy Bridgewater, and again in that Tampa Bay Carolina game, former Carolina Panther. David Moore is a former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Carolina Panther. And so that's where we stand there. Some incentives that we're chasing, or some numbers that we're chasing. So Trey McBride can set the record today for the most tight end receptions in a season. He needs 11 catches. He had 12 catches last week, so that's definitely something to monitor. Travis Kelce needs 7 catches, and he can move up into 8th place all time. He moved up into 10th place all time in receptions, passing Reggie Wayne last week. With 7 receptions, he can get up past Anquan Bolden and Terrell Owens today to be 7th place all time. Keenan Allen can hit 12,000 career receiving yards with 46 yards today against Dallas. Keenan also has some contract incentives. He needs 3 receptions and 70 yards to unlock some incentives in his contract. Tyler Warren with 5 catches today would become the Colts single season rookie reception record holder. Josh Downs hold that record right now. So Tyler Warren can do that. Cam Ward can break the Titans passing record for a rookie quarterback with 180 passing yards. That's very much in play. His over-under right now is 181.5. So it's almost like maybe some people know some things. Christian McCaffrey needs 78 yards to hit 1,000 on the season. Jameson Williams needs 64 to hit 1,000 on the season. Rico Dowdle, a touchdown, will unlock an incentive for him, and then 113 scrimmage yards there. Stephon Diggs, 3 receptions will unlock an incentive. Juwan Jennings needs 105 yards to unlock an incentive. Sterling Shepard, 1 reception or 29 yards, both hit incentives. Dawson Knox, 2 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown, all hit incentives. Hollywood Brown, 1 touchdown would win him some money. You've got Juwan Johnson, needs 8 receptions and 56 yards to unlock some money. And then Hunter Henry to round it out, 4 receptions will unlock a contract incentive there. So there's a lot of numbers out there that if you want to play with some numbers here.
I love it, Jeff. Like,
Dude,
you
that
never
was
disappoint
awesome.
me. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that was awesome.
Once again, one of the best decisions.
We'll have Dylan make a graphic for next week so that we can kind of run through some things next week.
That's actually not a bad idea at all.
I lay it all out in the fantasy fix that I do on Fridays. So it's everything's in that article. It's all the numbers that are being chased here between thresholds, records, contract incentives, the revenge games, DFS plays. I've got prop bets in there. And so I've got my start of the week in there as well. So make sure to check that out it usually ends up being on Saturday, but sometimes on Friday. So
I love it, Jeff. Once a pro transition to your content, everybody should go check that out. The Black Eye Joes, like we are a company show today.
I was gonna say, dude,
this. Yeah, like everybody got the memo.
4.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
This is what we do. All right, let's hop right back into these questions, folks. We appreciate you being here. We're gonna try to get to every one of your questions this week. I will rush you guys just to do it. We'll see if we can do it again this week. Full PPR, Woody, if he plays Dowdle. Woody, if he plays. Okay, Dowdle, Michael Carter for my wide receiver, Igbuka or Jaden Higgins. All right, Jeff. Woody, Dowdle, or Michael Carter. We'll expect Woody to play.
I'm going to say Dowdle here. I think the Buccaneers are a tough matchup, but I think that they, coming out of the bye last week, they shifted a little bit more heavy towards Rico Dowdle as the main back there.
Mm-hmm. And I go Buka over Jaden Higgins. Pickens or Gainwell, Colton?
Oh, I think right now Pickens is in kind of a brutal stretch, right? And LA has been tough on receivers, but I still think you got to go Pickens here. I think we've seen a shift with those Steelers running backs too. With and I talked about it a little bit earlier, but Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. But I'm not ready to completely punt on Pickens. I think I'm not in a position yet where I want to move away from him over Gainwell.
Sounds good. All right. I want to kind of reverse this question around. Jeff, Schultz or Strange at tight end?
Schultz or Strange? I'm going to go with Schultz over Strange here. That Denver matchup, but also Dalton Schultz has been very good.
Yes. And then, so we've got a little bit of a lineup question here. So right now it looks like Evans and Pickens for wide receiver 2. Salda is playing Evans over Pickens. Do you guys agree with that? Or Jeff, do you agree with
that? I think from what we saw last week, it's maybe not possible, but I think Evans needs about 234 yards per game to get to 1,000, and it does seem like Baker Mayfield, based on last week, they're going to try their best to get him there.
If Mike Evans ends up with 1,000 yards this year,
God
help me in week 18.
What does the average need to be?
234, I think. It's either 234 or 243. I don't have it in front of me. I might be flipping the numbers, but it's like right around like 234.
Basically, Mike Evans, we need to have 3 Puka Nacua games in a row to get there. I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. I would even
love to see the pursuit. Yeah,
I know.
Just the pursuit. Go after
Let's
it.
Go out and 315 this week,
yeah,
so that you can shave that number down a little bit.
Last year to tie Jerry Rice, like I felt like we want to talk about narratives. The Bucs were like, or the NFL was like, Mike, listen, everybody knows it's going to happen. We need to shave some games off to make it a little more exciting. And he got it on the very last catch of the season. So it's like,
oh, they ran
much
play. They ran an extra play, like a route that he never runs, just a little dump off to get him the yards he needed. It was a big celebration when he got it.
It felt weird, but I was glad he got it. I don't know. So, and then for the flex, would you do Chase Brown or Pickens, Jeff?
Chase Brown or Pickens? I'm gonna go Pickens. Oh God, that matchup is really difficult. Actually, give me Chase Brown over Pickens right now. The Chargers have been very good against wide receivers.
All right, and then we already answered that one. Rico or Gainwell, Colton?
Man, I had Gainwell ranked a little higher, but after I heard that Dowdle needs a touchdown to unlock that incentive, that was new information for me. And it wasn't that big of a gap to begin with. So I think now I'm going to lean Rico Dowdle, especially the PPR element here is really interesting because of how often Aaron Rodgers has looked toward Kenneth Gainwell. And I think that's unlocked some of this value a little bit where this late season surge we've seen for Kenneth Gainwell. But I do like Rico Dowdle in this matchup.
All right. Jeff, KC defense or Pat's defense?
KC defense or Pat's defense? Give me Kansas City's defense.
All right. And go Dowdle over the other two options. Irish, happy Sunday fun day. Dart or Brissett, Colton?
Give me Brissett here too, man. Brissett. I'm going to take Brissett over like most of these options.
What about Drake May?
Drake May, I do have 2 spots higher. So that was one of the few that I would take over Brissett. Just for reference, today I would take Josh Allen, Drake May, and Justin Herbert over Jacoby Brissett, and that's the list.
Ooh, love it. That's exactly how we wrote it up at the beginning of the season too. Love it.
Yep.
All right, Smitty, welcome in, buddy. Need to make some big swings in a couple of semifinals. Face Puka Stafford combo. Oh, what are your thoughts in PPR? I would say the holidays are coming up, and make sure that
play the players that are going to score the most points.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, just so you feel a
let
little
us know
better,
some of your
Smitty,
options.
I had the same thing happen, man. My season's over. I faced a Puka Stafford team, so
yeah. But Puka Stafford's a tough hill to climb. But if you're facing just Puka, like Jeff said last week, listen, if you're playing Kyle Pitts, you can chip away at it. And Jeff, I did chip away at it against a matchup. I'm not going to say who I beat, but put the other team into the ground.
Well, it really helped with Trey McBride coming through with a game that basically equaled out Pitts was a big for a lot of matchups. Probably
I might have had Trey McBride too if I think about it in that league, but yeah, I'll tell you off air who I beat, and it was pretty satisfying. I'm not going to dox him here, on the show. That's rude. Dang it, non PPR for my question. Oh, well, Saldana, we got it. We got it for you. All right. Dak or Bryce Young? Jeff, I'm going to you. It's your start of the week.
I do have Dak over Bryce Young.
Okay. And I don't think that's wrong. Irish, who gets the flex? Aaron Jones, Woody Marks, or Michael Carter? Colton, I'd lean Michael Carter. I think this is kind of where I'm leaning.
I'm with you. That's where I was going to go too. I have
just too involved in Minnesota.
Yeah, I have Michael Carter ranked over both those guys.
All right, Jeff, Bo Nix or Brock Purdy?
Bo Nix or Brock Purdy? I'm going to go with Brock Purdy here.
Okay. And another Bo Nix question, Colton. Nix, Dart, or Brissett?
I think you know where I'm going, right? I think I'm going Jacoby Brissett here.
There you go, baby. Yeah. I just wanted you to say it again. All right. So Smitty got us the options in here. 2 PPR semis. What are your thoughts on these? Burrow versus Lamar. So would you play Burrow or Lamar? Jeff?
I think I'm going Lamar there.
Okay. Jeff, Kelsey versus Schultz. I know you liked Schultz earlier.
I'm going to go Kelsey here.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him to 1,000 yards. We talked about that a little bit before he got on the show. And then Godwin, BTJ, and Marks. I'm actually very interested in both of your opinions on these 3 players. I didn't write this question. I am not Smitty, but I have this exact decision to make, and I have been tossing and turning over it. Colton, where would you go? Marks, Goodwin, or BTJ? Godwin.
So I have Chris Godwin, right? And I have BTJ a little higher than Chris Godwin right now. But Woody Marks too, now that he's healthy, and now that we know that Nick Chubb is playing too, that kind of downgrades Woody Marks ever so slightly for me. And Vegas, I mentioned it earlier, man. They aren't good at a lot of things, and they might not even be particularly good at run defense, but they load the box at a 50% clip. They are not going to let you run on them. So that kind of worries me a little bit. Man, it's a tough call for me between Godwin and BTJ. Like I said, I have BTJ ranked a little higher. So I think I'm going to lean that direction, but it is really close. Just for reference, BTJ is 2 slots higher than Chris Godwin.
Jeff, BTJ or Godwin?
I like Godwin here if it's full PPR because you start to get into a shootout matchup versus Brian Thomas Jr. drawing against Patrick Surtain. That does concern me. I think that when you're looking to play it out, my concern primarily on the Texans would be the Raiders have not been competitive in multiple games. And you could just see, we could see one of these where it's 20-0 at halftime and maybe like Migo gets a touchdown and Schultz has a touchdown. Maybe one of the random guys or Higgins has one. Maybe Woody Marks gets one, but then like the entire second half is just the death march to the end of the game because the Raiders, so we saw them last week against the Eagles. We've seen it against the Chiefs. Some of these games, they just have not been competitive.
All right, Clarence. Already sat Walker up, and they're up against Puka. Needs 2 of PPR from Woody Marks, Emeka Ibuka. You threw me off the spelling there. Tedero McMillan, and also Michael Carter. So 2 out of that group, Colton. Pick 2. It's
I think
here.
Yeah, I'm thinking Michael Carter and T-Mac for me. Tedero and McMillan would be my 2.
And Jeff, Lamar, Nix.
Gonna go with Lamar here. I mean, we're shooting for upset here. We're in the playoff semifinals, and I think that needs to be considered. So you would think that the ceiling game from Lamar Jackson is higher than the ceiling game from Bo Nix, but
all right. And then in PPR, Harrison or Michael Wilson.
Wilson over Harrison Jr.
Perfect. All right. Great job, gents. Burrows or Stroud? Colton? Burrows or Stroud? You're going to go Burrow, I think you said earlier.
Yeah, Joe Burrow there.
Jack, welcome in. Morning, guys. Please help. You don't have to yell. We'll help you. Appreciate it. Quentin Johnson is inactive for the Chargers. Would you play Gadsden or Bowers against Houston? Jeff?
I mean, I just said be concerned about the Raiders, but Bowers can have. We saw Trey McBride have 12-catch game against the Texans last week. Bowers can go out there and have a 15-catch game. I mean, just that we're playing upside here, and Bowers' upside is just so much higher than Gadsden's.
Yeah, and Geno is back, and I know that's not a vote of confidence, but might be over what we had last week. And then Marks and Marion Hampton or Pollard. I'd go Marion Hampton. And then Green Bay gave up the ghost last minute, trying to recover from playing Jacobs and opponent's miracle. Okay. Need upside between Genty or Tracy. Colton, pick one.
I think give me Tracy there. Jeff has hit on the Raiders offense, and Ashton Genty being stuck in Vegas is brutal. So I have Tracy ranked ahead of him at this point. I don't think it's going to be a great day for him. Egbuka or Shakir. I think I'm leaning Egbuka there based on where I have them. Oh, actually, I have Shakir ranked one spot higher. It is a tough matchup, but Egbuka is now in a very crowded pass catcher group in Tampa Bay. So that's where I'm leaning there.
All right. And then Tedero, McMillan, RJ Harvey, or Aaron Jones in PPR flex. I'll go Tedero and McMillan. Andrew Goodman's got a question for us. Super flex. Fun/anxiety. Okay. Which would you start today between Lamar, Trevor Lawrence, and Jacoby Brissett? Is it Lamar and Brissett, Jeff?
Lamar, yes. Lamar and Brissett. I do like Lawrence better than I think consensus.
All right, D, we've got a lot of Smitties in here today. I like it. Smitty is a fun name. Hey, fellas, thanks for the Football Guys team for still being in the mix in a few leagues. Hey, no, thank you for being part of it. Like we're just here to bounce ideas off of. You're the one with the goal to set the lineup. So appreciate you, Smitty. Some advice here between Irving, Shakir, and BTJ. Colton?
Yeah, I think it's Bucky Irving for me out of this group.
Burrow or T-Law, Jeff?
Burrow or T-Law? Give me Burrow.
Bruce, thanks for being here. Pat's kicker or Minnesota's kicker, Colton?
Oh, I do think Pat's or Minnesota. Yeah, Andy Borregales, I think I said that right, is New England's kicker, and I would say give me him.
Perfect. There's an easy way, Bruce, to not have to worry about this question anymore. Just kidding. If you have kickers, you play them. They're fun. Hey, guys, wondering which 2 I should start. Sutton, Tedero McMillan, or Dowdle in full PPR? Jeff.
Definitely Sutton here. I like the Dowdle side probably more than the McMillan side against this. I know we talked about attacking the Panthers or the Bucks through the air, but I don't know. It's been so we've seen Jalen Coker come on. Like volume can be a question for McMillan, so I like Dowdle here.
This is more of a philosophy question than player question, but it might kind of be both. Jeff, we talked about Drake London earlier in the show. What are your feelings on him today?
I think he's going to be more of a sporting player than the Drake London that we've come to expect him to be. And we've got Kyle Pitts running off a heater over the last couple of weeks.
All right. Just trying to get some injury updates here. Wan'Dale Robinson or BTJ, Colton?
Yeah, this is one where I'm playing Wan'Dale. I think, I'm trying to pull this up real quick. Yeah, Wan'Dale. The volume for Wan'Dale over the last couple of weeks has been great. He got into the end zone last week too. So give me Wan'Dale over BTJ.
All right, and just a couple of notes on players that are active and inactive. Quentin Johnston is active today, and Mecole Hardman is active. Keon Coleman for the Buffalo Bills is out this week. So if you've got Keon Coleman in your lineups, get him out. If you don't have Quentin Johnston in your lineups, maybe get him in. Matchup should be good. Definitely a flex option if you really need somebody. Man, I was really hoping Quentin Johnston from the beginning of the season was just going to carry on through because that was a lot of fun at the beginning of the year. All right. Good morning. Just dropped in to say thank you. What'd you say? Still a good call. It was. I got you there. Just dropped in to say thank you for a fun year. No games for me. Aw. Well, thanks for the advice. Be it good, bad, or ugly. That's a good movie. I have that one back there. Happy holidays and good luck to those left playing. Golfman Florida, thank you so much for being here. Go play some DFS. We got the new DFS lineup optimizer going on there. Still, your fantasy season not over, and we got the playoff contest coming up in a couple weeks here, football guys. Still lots of more fun things you can do. But if you also just want to call it quits, thanks for being here. David back with his beautiful avatar, Capricorn Dave. Happy holidays. Yeah, we love it. The Oaks Vintage Cabinet. Wow. What a name. Well done. Need to running back, full PPR. Chase Brown, Hunter Henry, Rico Dowdle. Colton, pick two.
Yeah. Give me Chase Brown and Derrick Henry out of those.
And then I'll go Flowers and Michael Wilson at wide receiver. I think it's pretty easy to avoid Pittman if you've got those two guys with Philip Rivers at quarterback. No way Evans gets close, and I live in Tampa. Okay. No need to shout. We just want to see it. Like, we know it's probably not going to happen.
We do not think that Mike Evans is going to average 235 yards per game over the last 3 games.
It's about the pursuit, okay? It's about the pursuit. That's all we're looking for.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Jeff, put that on a t-shirt. Oh, my goodness. That was beautiful. Rebellions are built on hope. Yeah, but if it does happen, oh, man. Oof. Judkins or Carter? Colton.
Oh, this one's tough because at one point it felt like Quinshon Judkins was like destined for set and forget status, but it just has not gone that way, right? And I think with how involved Michael Carter has been as a receiver and some of the scripts that we've seen from Arizona over the last couple of weeks, it feels crazy, but I think I'm leaning Michael Carter over Quinshon Judkins.
All right. Stroud or Dart, Jeff?
Stroud or Dart? Give me CJ Stroud against the Raiders.
Love it. Need to start two of these three: Jacoby, Ibuka, and Addison. Colton, pick two of the three.
Yeah, I looked at the matchup for Jacoby Myers last night, and how Jacksonville has sort of attacked or utilized him, right? And Denver has actually, in terms of expected points added per attempt, Denver on intermediate passing attempts is actually somewhat vulnerable. I think they're bottom 10 in expected points added allowed per intermediate passing attempt. And I think that's a spot where they might be able to use Jacoby Myers to attack this secondary. So give me Jacoby Myers. And then if we're looking at Emeka Egbuka versus Jordan Addison, I am going to lean Jordan Addison there in this matchup.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Denver's an interesting one because between Surtain and that pass rush, in our minds, we think that you can't play guys against Denver's defense. But the reality of it is, over the second half of the season, they've been, like you said, Colton, that's a good dig. They've been they've struggled some in some periods. Not been as good as everybody thinks, kind of.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Checking some more injury news. I want to make sure we get everybody the most accurate info today. We're going to get through all these questions, though, before we get out of here, guys. We're going to rapid fire for the next 5 minutes. Brissett, Dak, or Lamar? Colton.
Give me Brissett.
All right. Sorry. Stroud
No.
or Shuck?
Me again?
Jeff.
Or?
Jeff.
Stroud.
I had to burp. Sorry. Your Colton's going to tell you to go Brissett over Dak and Dart. Hola, amigos. Judkins or Estime? Colton, say the answer in Espanol, please.
Oh, El Judkins.
That works. That's a good fancy team name too. El Judkins. Who are you playing against this week? I got El Judkins. Ooh, Savage Elbow. Oh yeah. PPR. Tyler Warren, Jaden Higgins, or Adonai Mitchell. Jeff.
Am I crazy to go Adonai Mitchell here? Because I kind of feel like it's Adonai Mitchell. I think that, I don't know. I'm just very concerned about the volume in the Colts passing attack.
No, that pick would make them the cream of the crop this week. Like it. Daniel, Harvey, Judkins, Jettas, or Carter. Colton, pick one.
Give me RJ Harvey.
That was a really bad Macho impression. I'm going over my head. It was not good. Like, I'm sorry.
We're in the playoffs
finals,
and we're asking if we should play Justin Jefferson or Michael Carter. That's where we are with Justin Jefferson.
Jeff, Waller, Wandale, or Michael Carter?
Waller, Wandale, or Michael Carter. Where do you guys think Carter's going to – you think he's just going to be the whole backfield? Because if he's going to be the whole backfield, then it's definitely Michael Carter here. I'd hate the matchup for Wandale. If you think it's going to be a split like we've always see, then I think you can maybe make the argument for Wandale. But I probably would defer maybe what we saw last week, go Michael Carter in what should be a shootout. I
think based on some of the route numbers and how often Michael Carter was involved as a receiver, even when Bam Knight was healthy, I think that at the very least, he's kind of like the last man standing too, right? I mean,
DeMarco's back. DeMarco they used him in last week, and maybe he wasn't in the game plan because obviously Knight came in like healthy. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting spot to watch.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think DeMarco will be involved for sure. It probably won't be an 80% share for Michael Carter.
All right. Waddle, Tracy, or Carter? Jeff?
Waddle.
All right. And we already hit this one, I think. Yeah. Ibuka over Higgins, and then Dowdle over Michael Carter. Paul, need 2 out of the 4. Colton, Sutton, London, Jennings, Evans.
Yeah, it's brutal with Drake London. Because I agree with Jeff where it's like I think we're gonna see a less effective version, but it's also Drake London. It's kind of the dilemma we saw with Josh Jacobs, right? He saw 12 carries against Denver, but he caught that touchdown and he ran for a touchdown. He saw 12 carries last night, same amount of targets, and he scored 3 points, right? So like you kind of get this dilemma with these players playing through injury where you kind of have to play them, but you have to be aware that those are the 2 outcomes here, right? So I think it's Drake London and Mike Evans for me.
All right. And then I would go, Jeff, would you go Pitts over Kelsey?
Yes, I do have Pitts ranked over Kelsey.
Thank you. Waddle, we already took care of that one. I just want to get through all these. Godwin over Pittman, Brissett over Dak. And then we got some nice messages. We're done. Thanks again. Merry Christmas. Go Bills. I agree with all 3 of those things you said. And then thank you for everything this season. My first year with football, guys, and really enjoyed your content and approach. Best wishes to everyone there. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, like we've said a bunch of times today, like we would not be here without you. We are just like Joe Bryant likes to say, we are your guides on this journey. We just want to get you across the line. You're the heroes. We're the guides. Thank you so much for being here. Colton, any final words for the people?
Just go win your matchups, survive in advance, go 1-0 this week. Every other football trope you can think of, do that and advance to the finals. And hopefully we'll see you back here next week asking questions about your finals rosters. But like Joey said, man, we're just happy to be a part of the journey.
All right. And Jeff, this will be your last appearance of the season. I believe you're not with us next week. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Cardinals Bengals game. So it's going to be not
Go
for
ahead, sorry.
stakes, but just I was going to say it's going to be not for any stakes for the playoffs or anything, but just probably maybe a fun fantasy matchup there. So
Yeah, well, you have a blast. We love you so much. I love you so much. Next week, Dave Kluge will be joining us in place of Jeff. So major downgrade next week, but we love Dave, so we're gonna give him a shot. Jeff,
take one day off. I'm about to get Wally pepped by my podcast partner, Dave.
We talk about the Wally pep.
So.
I don't know if it's ever actually happened. Maybe it has. Jeff,
it happened to Wally Pip.
Yeah, well, that's true. It did happen to Wally Pip. That's why they say it. Everybody have a happy holiday. Jeff, I'll let you send us out with the most beautiful messages and love, and let the people know what's going on.
DFish4343 was very upset we did not answer Lamar or Lawrence. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson here. So I do want to say, Joey, thank you. Thank you for building this show. Thank you for, I think that you are an inspiration for everything that you have added to Football Guys to really come in to be the community ambassador. You invented a job, Joey, and you've made it a career. And that is, the amount of people that can actually do that, very, very few, if only one, that can do that. And I think that that's the amazing thing about the fantasy football space, about your journey, about how seeing a need and just developing and becoming and creating an opportunity for yourself. And I think that if you're out there, if you're thinking about trying to do fantasy content, just even anywhere in life, if you're looking at trying to do something, find the need and make yourself that need. And so, Joey, it's awesome that you've done that. It's awesome that you've done a great job hosting this show throughout the season, through the last couple of seasons. It's tremendous fun to be able to do this. It's always amazing to be able to interact with our audience. And I mean, that, like you said, like Joe says, like everybody says, they truly are the backbone of Football Guys. Go out and win a championship, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
And we have renewed Jeff Bell's contract for one more year here at Football Guys. Congratulations, Jeff. No,
Jeff, you're the man.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Love you guys.
Cheers,
Happy Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays.